Back in 2015, I bought a Honda Civic for $500. I put a radiator in it and turned it into a halfway decent car. A couple months later, it got stolen. I recovered it, proceeded to get it back on the road, drove it for about a year, and then again, it got stolen. So, I put it in a field and I haven't looked at it for 5 years. So this car has been sitting for the last 5 years. I dragged it out of the field today. It unfortunately got pretty beat up when it was stolen the second time. You can see where the back bumpers smashed in. All in all, the body's decent, but you get up here to the front, you can see they hit something pretty hard. That fender's smashed. The headlight is all pushed in right there. It appears everything is here under the hood, but they stole my valve cover, left the expensive spark plug wires, and my brand new exhaust. Interior is not that bad for sitting in a field for 5 years. Thieves really did a number on the ignition switch, but overall, everything is still pretty clean, but that headliner has seen better days. In the trunk, there's a bunch of stuff that I forgot I even had. Clearly, there were some mice living in here. Got a box of parts. Gonna need those. And just some random odds and ends. So, probably go through that later. First things first. Let's see what we're dealing with, and then we can maybe see if it will start. I want to pull the plugs and see what they look like, but first we need to get this nasty valve cover out of the way. I do appreciate them returning the car with the engine somewhat protected, but all this paint is just flaking everywhere, and I don't want it down inside my cylinders. In hindsight, I probably should have done this before I pulled the spark plug wires. With the valve cover off, everything looks pretty good. Only a few flakes made it into the oil gallery. Everything looks pretty clean overall. There's actually still a reasonable amount of oil sitting up there, so I think we should be okay. That first spark plug is really putting up a fight, so I am expecting the worst. Actually, I'm pleasantly surprised. It's got a little crust on it, which likely indicates leaky valve, but they're not rusty and they're not oily, so can't ask for much more than that. Time to check the oil. Well, it's got oil. It smells a little gassy, but it's not over full, which means the crankcase didn't fill with fuel, and it's likely safe to start. I threw the valve cover on from the trunk just to keep the dirt out of the engine, and I left the plugs out to allow the motor to spin a little bit easier. But will it spin? Nope. Time to try the old trusty hammer trick. Just give it a few good whacks. See what happens. Okay. That's worse. Not even getting the solenoid click at this point. Armed with my test light, let's see if we can get this figured out. So, main battery lead to the starter, nothing. Test the test light works. Again, nothing. So trace that wire up, and nothing. So let's see what this fuse is all about. Bingo. I picked up a 100 amp fuse because, well, it was the biggest thing I could find. Now, with the test light, let's see. So we're getting power past the fuse and power at the starter motor. So let's see what's up. Let's pull the starter. Nothing. All right, let's see what we got. Let's start. All right, correct vehicle starter. No, go away. 219, no. 129's not outrageous, but not available. Let's see. Closest one is 121 miles away. Okay, that's not an option. O'Reilly. You can make a choose lane. Go. Okay. Yeah. Not happening. Napa? Yeah. No. Rock Auto's going to be better. We will go. 98 Civic. Should be electrical starter. Okay, that's much better. But I want something today. I don't want to wait. $61. I can deal with that. Oh, apparently I already have it in my cart. So let's see if we can make this starter work. Back at the bench, I've got the starter mounted more securely in my vise, and I've got the motor disconnected so that we can see if it spins. And here goes nothing. Well, the motor's good. It appears to be a solenoid issue, so let's see if we can find one of those.